Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, everyone, to wherever you are in the world. I hope you are having an absolute wonderful day and being very profitable. I'd like to welcome you to our business mastermind, the TAM Business Dominators, the home of our business buying club. The first thing I'd like to do is introduce you to a story. And this is the story of one of our dominators. Her name is Kadera Muhammad. Kadera is in her mid 20s and she owns two companies, uh, Omnipotent Marketing as well as Omnipotent Capital. Her companies are basically worth about $100,000. And just a couple of weeks ago, she and I sat down and put together what we call the $1 million blueprint. So, as an NFT owner, the differentiator is that you get a blueprint, and we put together her $1 million blueprint. Her $1 million blueprint is based on the capital strategy where she extracts credit out of the business. She then invests that credit into high yielding vehicles. And then from there, we make declarations. We get involved in the crowdfunding for validation of that declaration. We then take that money from the crowd fund, we reinvest it, and all of a sudden, she's gone in 9 months. She will have gone from a valuation of 150 to $200,000 with both of her businesses to well over $2 million. We are doing that for her, and the idea is that we do it for you as well. So, how can we do that? How is it possible that you can go from a little over 100 and some odd $1,000 value of your company to well over $2 million value in your company in the less than a year? How is that possible? Well, it's possible based on what's going on today and the fact of we are have the technology and the social and the economic things that are colluding that makes this moment in time possible. There are five or three numbers that I want to introduce you to: 15, 2, and 100, and those corresponding market forces. Market force number one is social, and 15 means there's 15 number or 15 times the amount of businesses that will be for sale this year over the next 10 years or 15 years than there were previous. And that's because the phenomena of there are 12 million baby boomers with small businesses, and 70% of them will retire. Well over 360,000 businesses will be up for sale over the next 15 years every year, which means that some of those businesses will go out of business. And the impact is you'll have market saturation plus price pressures to decrease the price in order to sell, which leads us to a great buyer's market. The second is an economic force. And that economic force basically says that online businesses are twice as valuable as offline businesses given the same profit margin. So, given a company, two companies that have the same amount of profit, an online wig store, for example, is much more valuable than an offline wig store. And so though that is to the tune of about 2x, such that what we're finding is for brick and mortars, it's not a very sexy place that attracts a lot of money. And so we have to offset that. And that the impact is the value gap between online and offline is growing, quite honestly. And so that's the economic impact. So you have a social impact and an economic impact. Now you have a technological impact for market force number three, which is there's trillions of dollars that's being shifted to Web3, what we call Web3 or the new internet technology, such that alone in the DeFi projects or decentralized finance projects, there's $100 billion going into those projects every year alone. It's predicted that $1 trillion is for will be the metaverse. And so what this does is this provides an abnormal sense of returns for your money in terms of non-traditional investment vehicles. And so how do we do this? What is the big idea? So in 85 words or less, the big idea is this. This is for potential deal makers who are dissatisfied with their current economic situation and are looking to leverage today's small business ecosystem through education and participation in innovative deals. Now, our system offers 5 innovative blueprints, which are plug and play from the base of 12 weeks of a business buying course and a 4-week capital raising course. Now, we're different from our competitors in that we offer a variety of high return vehicles and innovative methodologies that the deal maker, you, can use to create sustainable wealth. Let's talk about a little bit very quickly about those 4 blueprints, and then I'll introduce you to the 5th one. These plug and play blueprints, 1 through 4. The first blueprint is where we acquire the property or acquire the business as we did in Strictly Cuts, and then we transition that business as we're doing to the manager and or someone in that industry, like a cosmetology student. So it's acquire and transition. The second one is where we arbitrage the price and we buy it and sell it. Think of it as wholesaling businesses. We buy it at one price and we'll sell it simultaneously at a higher price. And we will keep what we call the digital rights to the company. The third blueprint is where we just own or lease the digital rights to the company, such that we contact a brick and mortar store. We say we want to lease your digital rights. Your digital rights are things like your e-commerce, your NFT project investment, and a VIP NFT membership, along with creating a metaverse environment. We lease that from the business owner, and basically we give them a return on that investment to the tune of about 20% of our return. And then finally, you can utilize this plug and play blueprint to be a mergers and acquisition strategist and coach for businesses. So not only can you buy it and transition it, you can wholesale it, you can also just lease the digital rights, and you can, lastly, you can consult. So all the things that you learn allows you to utilize these exotic pieces. The 5th blueprint that I talked about, I mentioned 5, that's 1 through 4. The 5th is just acquire and operate. And I'd like you to meet Kim Morales. She's a real estate investor. She also is a consultant for Power Solar. She owns 70% of Echo Nail Salon in North Carolina. The deal was she had no money out of her pocket. She received a 4-figure income at closing. She's an absentee owner where the manager runs the day to day. Her first check was over $1,000, and she's been receiving checks over a couple of $1,000s every month. And we are in the process of leasing her digital rights such that she can get 20% of the profits that come from the proceeds of what we do. The second group, and we have many of these, the second group I'd like you to meet is what we term affectionately as the 3 amigos, Anthony, Aziz, and Breon, who's not pictured here. They're in their mid-20s as well. They own a company, 80% of sheer equity, no money out of their pockets, absentee owner, manager runs the day-to-day, and they will be transitioning out as well. And so we have these who utilize blueprint number 5, but we also have roughly about 40 people who also have building equity portfolios who have gone through the acquisition process, but are just have smaller pieces as part of their portfolio. And as you very well know, if you're looking for passive income, having pieces of something and getting paid every month from each and every one of those pieces is the ultimate in being able to do these types of investments. So we have 40 some odd people who have gone through the acquisition program. We have 7, 8 people who actually are doing the operation of it. It's a wonderful thing. What's our secret sauce? How are we able to do this? How are we able to be different than everybody else? It's our acquisition, it's our growth, it's our exit. We acquire solid companies that are cash flowing, that may be a little bruised, and we can fix them up. We grow it very, very quickly through what I'll talk about in our CIO process, and we exit very elegantly by passing it on to the next generation. Our growth process is we either utilize capital management right there in the terms of investor capital or our capital in the company, like credit. We then take that capital and invest it. And then from there, we put that invested capital, that the proceeds from that invested capital back on our bottom line, such that we're able to increase our bottom line exponentially. And here we are, and here you are, right in the middle of everything that's going on. Here's our team. It starts with Lee Mazzelli, Samantha, Angela, and Jana, excuse me. They all play a great portion of what we try to do. Lee works with pre-acquisition. Sam works with the 3.0 folks, the Web 3.0, minting uh, minting tokens as well as NFTs. Angela is our program manager, and Jana works and helps us with accelerate. Once we've got the property, she helps us accelerate that whole process. Our exponential growth partners, and we have 5 or 6 of them. Actually, we have a few more, but these are the main ones. The Heartland helps us with the POS systems and the operations. Crowd Wall Street helps us raise capital. Quasar 275 with the digital leasing. Gold Standard Group with the Web 3 technology, and Rebirth Capital with helping us with the extracting credit and being able to leverage some of the things throughout the banking system. And then finally, we have broker partners. These are the largest ones, not only in the United States, but also in the world. Sunbelt is the third largest in the United States. Transworld is the largest in the world. ABB is local to Florida, where we buy a lot of properties, and then one of the largest in Florida. And EXP Realty is one of the largest companies as well in the world. And so we work with these heavy hitters because we're buying properties all over the United States. That's our team, or a portion of the team. We also have all these strategic partners that we work with as well. Why is that so important? Because you have access to those resources as well. So what is this TAM Dominators? It's an NFT membership card and a club where we buy a business every you buy a business every month, or you can participate in buying a business every month. You learn how to do that, and you learn quite a bit of other things. So the first thing is that we have this TAM Business Flipping Club that I talked about earlier, and you would be a partner firm as part of that. You raise the capital for the acquisition, we buy it, you get basically a portion of the equity in that particular company or those digital rights, etc. So you get paid every month, and your investors get paid every month. So that's part of it. That's a huge part of it. And that can solidify your wealth by itself. You also learn how to raise capital, how to buy the businesses offline, how to create a digital enterprise with a physical and digital twin, how to buy online, how to scale your business, and how to become a mergers and acquisition specialist, the coaching piece. So you get all of that, and it's based in that foundational 12 weeks, and then everything else kind of spins off of that. You also get a customized plan for yourself, discounts on all these other consulting services. We're part of the vacation club. You get you can attend these exclusive podcasts. We'll have meetups in the metaverse. We'll also meet at least one time this year, and then next year a couple of times face to face. And then finally, you will get an opportunity to uh, participate in business management credit or business credit management, as well as note buying. There's a whole different opportunity where you can buy high yielding notes, credit notes that are secured by physical businesses and property. Here's an overview of the 12-week agenda. Week one, so the agenda is made up, or the class is made up of three parts. One is an innovation part, one is a business buying part, and one is a raising capital part. And we go through every single week, uh, doing one piece of that over a 30-minute period of time. So, for example, in week number three, we have an innovation technique called Remove. We how to work with brokers, and then setting up your LinkedIn system. So you get a website, you get the LinkedIn system, and we'll talk about your circle of 100. Week number four, we did remove. Now we do replace, working with sellers, LinkedIn system. Week number five, replicate. You do your business analysis, then you do your deal structure, your letter of intent, your due diligence. You learn how to work with the pitch deck, you pull it all together, and then you do a live pitch. You do all of that in 12 weeks. And that's the basis of this exotic program that has all of the five blueprints. In the capital raising, where we have a group called the Capital Gang, it's all about finding the investors and pitching the investors. Finding the investors, where to look, how to target, how to engage, how to cultivate a relationship, pitching the investors, the science behind the pitch, what are the elements of it, how to structure the pitch, and how to deliver the pitch. What's your investment? It's a $5,000 VIP membership investment. You can finance that over 1, 6, or 12 payments. Here's what you do. You go to tameliteinstitute.com. That's TAM eliteinstitute.com. And there you will see a series of boxes or buttons there, and just press the button for the person that referred you. And that's it. I'd like to thank you for the moments that you've spent with me. I look forward to working with you and making quite a bit of money with you. Take care. God bless.